Good afternoon, everyone. So, so today we will be discussing the module 2, the last chapter. The last chapter is chapter number 5, the control statements. So it will be the continuation from what you have seen chapter 1, chapter 2, that is the Java basics, chapter 3, variables, chapter 4, operators, and this is the last one. So control statement uh, can be in Java, can be divided into four categories. So sorry, three categories: selection, iteration, and jump statement. So selection statement allow your program to choose different paths based on the outcome of the expression. So iteration means it is loops concept, in that you will be getting while loop, do while loop, for loop, and additional and important one for each loop. And finally the jump statement. Inside the jump statement you will be getting break, continue, and return. So let us see what are the things we'll be discussing in detail. So selection means, so using you can select a number of statements using if, nested if else. So many things. Iteration statements have already told. So now we shall get into the detail. So first you will be getting Java's selection statements. So Java selection statements, as you all know, you will be familiar with these words. The first concept is if, and the next concept is switch. So with the if concept, you will be getting if, nested if, and if else ladder, else if ladder, and finally under switch, you will be getting switch and nested switch. So what is the if statement? If will have a input as condition. If the condition will result in a Boolean value true, then the particular statement one will be executed. Else, if the condition becomes false, the statement two will be executed. So take the example what I have given like here. Here you are taking two variables A and B and checking for if A is less than B, as if we are not given any initialized any values for A and B. Assume if A is less than B, then the statement A is equal to 0 will be printed. Else, if the condition is false, that means if A is greater than B, then B is equal to 0 will be printed. So that is this is the point which tells you the value. So now you come for an example. So coming under example, so you can see that if will have a relational operators. Moreover, it is not technically necessary. So first you have taken a variable called data available under boolean. If data is available, that means if this particular variable is containing some value, so if that value is there, then you are going to process the data. So here you can see that if is inside the if you are having only one statement, that's why we are not making use of any curly braces. So if this condition, if there is no data available, then the condition will becomes false, and the else part is wait for more data will be executed. So main thing is here, if you are considering only one statement, the you are not going to have any curly braces for here. So if there are more than one statement, that is an example here. If you want to include more statement, you will need to create a block as in this particular fragment. We have taken int bytes available. So bytes available means you have to give some integer type value because it belongs to integer. So if bytes available is greater than 0, so if it is greater than 0, then we are going for process data. And if it is processed, next bytes available, if that bytes consider bytes available is equal to 10. So 10 is greater than 0. So at that time process data, this particular function will be called, and bytes available, once it is processed, it should be reduced. So 10, if it is processed, it can be 8 also. So if there is no bytes available, it is equal to 0, then condition will becomes false, and then the else part will be executed. As you all know, you will be familiar with these things. So similarly, you are going for the another particular program fragment. So first you are taken bytes available. If it is greater than 0, process the data and decrement the bytes available because you have processed some data available. Okay, else if data is not there, that means if bytes available is equal to 0, so no bytes are there. At that time, you have to wait for data. That's why we take it as by wait for more data here. So here you are having two statements. The two statements should be included with curly braces. So you will not get process this particular thing. So here we are making use of curly braces to make it executed. So so after that, next you come for the concept called nested if. So nested if is an if statement that is a target of another if or else. So under that, when you have the nested if statement, the main thing is to remember is that else part refers to nearest if. So that is the concept. The else part, what you provide, so many ifs are will be there. If one, if two, if three. So else part which is there, we can tell it is the else statement is for innermost if statement. So take the example here, if I double equals 10. If I double equals 10, that is the first condition. Next you come for if j is less than 20, a is equal to b. So some statements are there. There are not given any values for a and b. Next you come for k greater than 0, c is equal to d. This is the innermost if. So outermost if is this one, innermost if for the second innermost if, and this is the third innermost if. So outermost if is if double equals I double equals 10. So first innermost if is j less than 20, and second innermost if is k greater than 100. At that time, if you are having the else part, then this particular else part will be for k greater than 100. So you have not given any else part for j less than 20. J less than 20, a equals b. It is a simple if statement because it is not containing any else part. So after the bracket will close, now your bracket is closed for outermost ice loop. So else this else part is referring to I double equals 10. As you can easily understand, as a comments, the final else is not associated with j, it is associated with I because it is not in the same block. The final else is associated with, that is final else a equals b is associated with I double equals 10. So if else if ladder. So else followed by if. So if else is there means first initially if should be there. So common programming construct that is based upon the sequence of nested if else if ladder. So this is the concept what you have to understand. The if statement are executed from top down. As soon as the condition controlling the if is true, the statement with that if is executed and rest of the ladder is bypassed. So keep in your mind, ಈ if condition ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. if condition ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಟ್ರೂ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಲೂಪ್ ಇಂದಲೇ ಆಚೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಯಾವ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. Again check for this condition is true, then you are executing this particular statement. Otherwise, if this condition is also false, then you are coming for this particular if. ಯಾವಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ if ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಗಳು ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೋ, ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ, ಆವಾಗ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇಫ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಅಂಟಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ is also false, then you are going for the final else statement. So if none of the condition, keep in your mind, if none of the condition is true, then the else statement will be executed. The final else acts as a default condition if all the if conditions will remain false. So here is the program. So program ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. It is the program to print which month, take one input as a month and print the season. So under that you are taking class if else. So under that you are taking a main. So int month double equals for string season. Okay. So first you are giving if month double equals 12, 1, 2 winter, month 3, 4, 5 spring, 6, 7, 8 summer, 9, 10, 11 autumn. So you are giving so many if stay with the else. So first you come for month double equals 4. So start comparing. 4 double equals 12, condition false. 4 double equals 1, condition false. for double equals to condition false, so this if complete if statement will not be executed. So then you will come for this particular if this condition goes false, then you come for the next if statement. If month double equals 3, that means 4 double equals 3, the condition false. 4 double equals 4, at that time the condition will become true and season is equal to spring. This statement will be executed. When one of the particular if statement is executed, the remaining results in true and that particular statement is executed, the remaining if statements will not be skipped, will be will be skipped, and all these if statements will not be executed. So at that time, now we are having the season as spring, so this if statement is executed. So finally you won't get this else also executed because the if condition is given true. At that time, now we are printing April is in the month of spring. That will be the output. So next you come for the switch statements. The switch statement is Java multi-way branching. So keep in your mind, if you're having so many 5 conditions, 6 conditions, you can make use of if else statements. If number of conditions are more, then you have to go for the cases. The use of cases will be supported inside the switch statement. It provides the easy way to dispatch the execution. So following is the general syntax we have given. Switch of expression. The switch of expression will result in so many cases. Each and every case will be executed, and if no case is going to match, then you will be having a default statement that will be executed if no value of that particular case is matched. So here is the explanation. So expression what you give for the switch statement. So it should be a of type short, int or char. Each case value should be unique literal. It should be either 0, 1, 2, 3 like that, or it should be in the terms of A to Z. So switch works like this. So value of the expression is compared with each of the case statement. If match is found, the code sequence following the statement is executed. If none of the constant matches, then the default statement is executed. So the break is used inside the switch to terminate the statement sequence. So take an example. So sample switch main function with first you are taking 0 variable I equals 0, I less than 6, I plus plus, switch of I. So what is the first value you are having? I equals 0. So 0 is less than 6. So condition is true. So if condition is true, that will come for switch of 0. So search for 0 in the cases. So when you come for this case 0 is matching with case 0, at that time print that particular I is equal to 0. Then the control, as this one is executed, we are taking a break statement, and break will come outside the for loop. So outside the switch statement. Okay. So next, what is I value? As you are going for increment operation, I value will becomes 1. 1 is less than 6. Okay. So switch of 1. So at that time you will be executing this statement I is equal to 1. Next again, after this you execute the break statement, and then you come for incrementation. Now I value is equal to 3. 1 2, I value becomes 2, switch of 2. So where is 2, switch of 2 will move to case 2. At that time it is going to print this particular I is equal to 2. Next you come for incrementation, again 3 is less than 6, condition is true, the case is equal to 3, that is I is equal to 3. Again increment, now it is 4. So 4 is less than 6, so switch off 4. So any cases given for the 4? No, as there is no case given for the I value 4, you'll be having a default statement executing, telling that I is greater than 3. So as default is executed, again increment it. Now you'll be getting 5. 5 is less than 6. Switch off 5. At that time, again, there is no case starting with a number 5. Again, the default statement is executed, I is greater than 3. So now you come for the final increment 6. 6 is less than 6. What is the condition? Condition will go false, and so it will come outside the for loop. So that will terminate the program. With this are all the outputs what you are getting. So break statement. So use of break statement is optional. If you omit, the execution will continue on to the next cases. ಸೊ ಕೀಪ್ ಇನ್ ಯರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್, ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಆ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂಟಿಲ್ ಯು ಗಿವ್ ಯುವರ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್. So here is an example that will illustrate that particular thing. So missing break is the program. So public static void main I equals 0, I less than 12, I plus plus. So switch off I. First I is 0 irutte, 0 less than 12 condition is true. So switch off 0 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಕೇಸ್ 0 ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಕೇಸ್ 0ಗೂ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, 1ಗೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, 2 3 4 ಏನೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಐ ಎಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ದೆನ್ 5 ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಸೊ ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಐ 0 ಆದಾಗ ಕೇಸ್ 0 ಐ ಇಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ದೆನ್ 5 ಅಂತ ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಂಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್, ನಾವು ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 1 ಇಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ದೆನ್ 12 ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ. ಕೇಸ್ 1 ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು, I is less than 5 ಅಂತಾನೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. Again increment, you will be getting 2 is less than 12. Case 2, I is less than 5. Next again increment 3, 3 is less than 12. Case 3, I is less than 5. Next again increment when you get 4, so 4 is less than 12. Case 4, you will be getting I is less than 5 and you will be breaking here. So now you come for next case, case 5 is less than 12. 5 ಅಂದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕೇಸಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಟ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಕೇಸ್ 5, ಐ ಇಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ದೆನ್ 10. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಐ ಕೀಪ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ incrementing when I becomes 9. When I becomes 9, so you will be getting I is less than 10. So similarly you will be having increment when I equals 10. ಸೊ 10ಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೇಸ್ 0 1 2 3 4 ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಕೇಸ್ 5 6 7 8 9 ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅಟ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಕೇಸ್, ಅಟ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಐ ಇಸ್ 10 ಆರ್ ಮೋರ್. Okay, so again I will be incrementing. Now you are getting a value 11. 11 is less than 12. Again, there is no case by 11. So default statement will be executed. I is 10 or more for second time. Next to I again increment 12. 12 is less than 12. The condition will go false and it will come outside the for loop, printing the remaining statements. So when you have multiple cases without break statement, all the cases will be executed until you encounter a break. So next you come for the nested switch statements. So nested switch statement is a part of two switches. We call it as outer switch and an inner switch. This is called nested switch. Defines its own block. No conflict arise between the case constants. So keep in your mind. So this is one switch. Under that you have given case 1. Again you have called another switch of target. Again you have called case 0 and case 1. So in that case, if you are using ಇಲ್ಲಿ outer switch count, inner switch target. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ same case names ನೀವೇನೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋನು, there will be no conflict. You will be executing the same thing. But when you have under one switch statement, if you're repeating the same cases, case 1 ಅಂತ ಈ switch count ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನೀವು ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಅದು ಎರರ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So that is the concept. So you will be not having anything much than this. So go through the programs. So continuation that will be explained here. Case 1, statement in inner switch does not conflict with case 1 in outer switch. The count variable is only compared with list of cases at outer level. So if count is 1, the target is compared with inner. Important features of if statement. So if differs from if in that switch can only test for equality, whereas if can evaluate any type. ಅದು ಇದು ಸೇಮ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ, ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ತರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ ಕೊಟ್ರು ಅದು ಎವಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ, ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್. ಇಫ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಆದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗೋದು. ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೂ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. No two case constant in same switch can have identical. So switch of I ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು case 1 ಅಂತ 2 or more times ನೀವು case 1 ಅಂತ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ತರ ಕೇಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ತಗೊಳಲ್ಲ. It is more efficient than set of nested ifs ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. These are the futures. Next, that completes the first part, that is selection statements. And the selection you will be getting if else statement. After if else statement you will be getting a else if ladder. After else if you have a switch and nested switch, nested if, all these concepts. Now second part under this is iteration statements. Iteration means you will be repeating. Iteration in the sense repeating. So you have seen the three concepts under that already, which are those: while, do while, and for loop. This will create what we commonly call loops. So while statement is Java's most fundamental loop statement. It repeats the statement if the condition is true. Condition true ಆದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ body of the loop execute ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. If condition false, it comes outside the loop. So this is a particular program class file we have taken. So class name, if you have taken it as while, then the file name you should be taken it as while.java only. So next we take a main function. Inside main we declare a variable int n is equal to 10. It is of a integer data type. Next, while n greater than 0 andre 10 greater than 0 adre, you will be executing this statement and n will be decremented. ಸೊ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇಫ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಆದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ವೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ n equals 10, 10 greater than 0, tick 10. Next again decrement, n becomes 9, 9 greater than 0, condition true, tick 9. So loop continues until when you become n equals 1, 1 greater than 0, condition true, tick 1. So again decrement, 1 becomes 0. So 0 greater than 0, condition false, come out of the loop. So finally when tick is equal to 1, the loop comes out, since n value will become 0 and condition will goes false. So while loop executes at top of the loop, the body will not execute. Body will not execute even if condition is false to begin with. So initially if the condition is false, there is no concept of executing all these statements. So here is an example: I equals 10, b equals 20. If a greater than b, so 10 is greater than 20. So at that time condition will go false and this particular statement will not be executed. So next you come for the body of the loop. So under the body of the loop can be empty. ಲೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಟಿ ಬಾಡಿನ ಎಂಟಿ ಆಗೋ ಇಡ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾವಾಗ? ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಂಟೈನ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಬಾಡಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲೂಪ್, nothing will be there. This is because the null statement is syntactically valid in Java. This is because, keep in your mind, this is the very important question. Why the body of the loop can be kept empty? This is because a null statement is syntactically valid in Java. So no body is the class name we have taken because it is the meaning program to tell that we can execute a loop without execute the loop without the body also. So we have taken the variables I comma j. Inside I comma j, I is assigned a value 100, j is assigned a value 200. So while plus plus I less than minus minus j. So here you are going to consider only the condition. So declaration and initialization, mostly inside the while you will be giving only the condition. So plus plus I. So I keep in your mind. So first I will contain value 100, j will start from 200. I ನಂಗೆ increment ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ j ನಂಗೆ decrement ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಯಾವಾಗ I is less than j ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಆವಾಗ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ. So at that time, what is the midpoint you have to take? So plus plus I, first initially 100 ಇರೋದು 101, ಇದು 200 ಇರೋದು 199, ಹಂಗೆ increment ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, j decrement ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ I 150 less than 149 ಆಗುತ್ತೋ, 150 I increment ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So 150 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 150 is less than 149, condition when becomes false. At that time you are taking a midpoint. So there is no body of the loop. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಬಾಡಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲೂಪ್ ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. This is the println statement outside the body of the loop. At that time, you are going to take it as system.out.println midpoint of I. So what is I value? I in 150 lead to J 114 150 bandre. At that time, condition will becomes 150 150 bandre ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, you will be getting the condition as false. At that time, the midpoint you take it as midpoint is output, you will be getting midpoint is 150. So this is how while loop ಅಲ್ಲಿ body ಕೊಡ್ತಲೇ ಇದ್ರೂನೆ execute ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So value of I is incremented, value of j is decrementing. These values are then compared with one another. If new value of I is still if new value of I is still less than new value of j, loop repeats. If I is equal to j, loop stops. Upon exist, I will hold a value, and that is the midway between the original values of I and j. That is while loop. So next you come for the do while. If a conditional statement expression containing a while is initially false, while loop ಅಲ್ಲಿ condition ಏನಾದ್ರು false ಆದರೆ body of the loop will not be executed at all. If the condition will go false, the body of the loop will not be executed. Sometimes it is desirable to execute the body at least once, even if the condition is false. So condition false ಆದ್ರೂ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಆದ್ರೂ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಯು ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಡೂ ವೈಲ್ ಲೂಪ್. So fortunately, it supports do while will always execute its body at least once because its conditional expression is at the bottom of the loop. So here is a program, do body of the loop followed with while will condition with semicolon. Keep in your mind, here you are going to end your condition with semicolon. This is the syntax what you have to use when you are going for a do while. So here is an example. So condition ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಬಿಡುತ್ತೋ ನಿಮಗೆ statements one time execute ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So here we have taken the class name as a do while, which illustrates the do while loop. So main function, first you have taken n equals 10, do, print the statement, tick, and next you go for n minus minus and close the loop and terminate when n greater than 0. So ಆವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ 10 ಟಿಕ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ 10 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, n increment decrement ಆಗುತ್ತೆ 9 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So again 9 is greater than 0, condition will become true. So again execute the do. So tick 9 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, decrement ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 8 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, 8 greater than 0 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So similarly you will be executing each and everything. When you get the value n value 1, 2 ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು 1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದಾಗ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. So n is equal to 1, 1 is greater than 0, condition is true, again execute the do loop. So tick 1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, next you come for 0. So when n is equal to 0, condition n 0 greater than 0, condition will becomes false. So it will be executed from tick is equal to 1 to tick is equal to 10 to tick is equal to 1. So do while loop is used when you process a menu because you usually want the body to execute at least once. Next you come for the for loop. So for loop, there are two forms of for loop. The traditional, what you have used is the Java, original version of Java. The second is the new for each loop. Here is the general form of traditional for statement. For initialization, for will contain how many? So for will contain three things. One is initialization, next one is condition, next is iteration followed with the body. If only one statement is being repeated, there is no need for curly braces. So one statement ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನೀವು bracket ಹಾಕೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. So you can only execute without the brackets if the body will contain only one statement. So come for this particular thing. So same for ticking the values you have taken, main function is considered. So int n. So inside the int n, you are declaring first declaring a variables and initializing the value of n to 10, n greater than 0, m minus minus. So print the statements. So tick will go for tick 10, tick 9, tick 8. So like that it will be going up to 1 greater than 0. Tick 1 will also be, and when n becomes 0, at that time it is going to come out of the loop. So now we come for declaring a loop control variables inside the for loop. Very important thing. So loop control ಮಾಡೋ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಯಾವುದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ n. ಸೊ n ಏನಾದ್ರು ಫಾರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ಕೀಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಲೂಪ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ ಲೂಪ್. ಲೂಪ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀರೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಲೂಪ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಆಚೆ ಕಡೆ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ದಲೆ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಇಂಟ್ n ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್. ಬಟ್ ಇವಾಗ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ n is declared inside the for. At that time what will happen, now we have to see. So here we are taking for, rather than declaring an int n outside, we are declaring int n inside the for loop. Int n, the same thing will be executed, but the thing is after the for loop its scope will not be there. A variable use iralla. So when you declare a variable inside the for loop, there is one important point to remember. The scope of the variable ends when the for statement does. When for statement ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನು ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ for loop, not inside the for loop. If it is declared inside the for loop, then its scope will be limited to that particular for loop only. Outside the variable will cease to execute. So int n ಅಂತ ಒಳಗಡೆ for loop ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಆಚೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ for loop ಆಚೆ ನೀವು ಆ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ n ನೀವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ n ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. And loop control variable will not be needed elsewhere. Most Java declare it inside the for statement. So here is a program to find the prime number. So find prime, main function int num, boolean is prime initially true, number 14 ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಅದು ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ in order to prime numbers, first you have to go for two conditions. ಸೊ ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, when it is divisible by 1 and itself. So how many, when that number is divisible by 1, that is the one condition. When divisible by itself, another condition. So two numbers iterations, so that's why we are taking it as I is equal to 2. Why you are going for I equals 2? Because in order to take you to the prime concept, we are making use of this thing. So I equals 2, and the condition is I is less than or equal to num by I plus plus. If num mod I double equals 0, then you go is prime is equal to false and break. If is prime ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ system.out, it will be prime. So this is the program what you have to execute. This is only used to describe what the for loop is going to do inside the for. So here you are declaring a variable I equals 2. So this I equals 2 will be only available inside the for loop only. If you are going to print the value of I outside the for loop, it won't be there. Next, use of comma. So when you are going to have, as keep in your mind, as you have a for loop will contain three parts. One is initialization, next termination, third increment or decrement. That are the three levels you will be having. So if you are going to include more than one statement inside initialization or iteration portion, so of the for loop, then you make use of comma. So take this particular example. So class sample containing say a and b value. So here I have taken a is equal to 1, a less than b, a plus plus. Now you are printing the values a and what is a and what is b. Initially what is a ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ output ನೋಡೋಣ. So a is equal to 1. 1 is less than what is b value, 4. 1 is less than 4. What will be done? A and b are printed. So you'll be getting the output as a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 4, and a will be incremented and b will be decrementing. So here you have seen, here b is decrementing and here a is incrementing. So now a becomes 2 and b becomes 3. So 2 is less than 3, condition true, A increment, B decrement. So at that time you will be getting A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 3. So again, after that, now you again increment, A becomes 3 and B becomes 2. So 3 is less than 2. At that time, the condition will becomes false and you will come out of the loop. So here you have used each and every inside the for loop, you have used this one as single, this one as single, this one as single. But there is another statement B minus minus. So B minus minus can be placed inside this for loop only. So in order to place this B minus minus inside this particular for loop, you are making use of comma statement. So that is illustrated here. So to allow two or more variables to control a for loop, Java permits you to include multiple statements in both initialization and iteration portions. So rather than giving B minus minus say inside the loop, you can give inside the for loop only. So when you compare this previous program, here you are having only A plus plus, but here you are having A plus plus as well as B minus minus. So that means you are making use of two variables by the concept called comma. So here you are giving the values and this will print the same things. So some for loop variations. So under this loop variations, you will be having like this. So what are all the changes you can make inside the loop? So as I have told, inside the loop, you'll be having three parts. So you can add one or more statement inside each part by using comma. Apart from that, what are all the things you can make? So here you can, the thing is, you can give or may not give the conditions inside the loop. So suppose you take this particular concept. So one of the most common specifically is does not need to test the loop against some target value. So the in fact controlling the bool can be boolean expression. So you have taken boolean done is equal to false. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ನಾವು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇನ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಚೆಕ್ ದ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್. ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಈ ಕಡೆ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್, ಆ ಕಡೆ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ ನಾವ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಆಪರಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಡನ್, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಪ್ boolean. So boolean done is equal to false. At that time you are taking I is equal to 1. This is only one initialization. Next condition we are not checking anything. We are directly giving not of done and I plus plus. So in this example for loop for initially 1, not of done. Done ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೈತೆ false ಐತೆ. Not of done ಅಂದ್ರೆ true. Condition will goes true. At that time you'll be having this statement. So ಆವಾಗ for loop execute ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Rather than giving a checking for condition, you can make use of boolean expressions inside this particular thing. That is the variation what you can do for the for loop. In this example, the for loop continues to run until boolean value done is set to true. So ಅದಾಗ done ಅನ್ನೋದು this will not test the value of I. So the interesting variation, either initialization or iteration or both may be absent. So keep in your mind, loop variation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ initialization or iteration part ಯಾವುದು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮಿಡ್ಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿ. ಫಾರ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ಮೇನ್ you have taken boolean done is equal to false. When now you take I is equal to 0. Rather than giving the initialization inside the for loop, we are declaring the initialization outside the for loop only. Under for loop we are giving not of done. Not of done means as the done will containing a value false, not of done will result in true. So we are not giving any iteration also. So system, we are taking system dot out I value. If I double equals 10, done is equal to true, I plus plus. So now you compare each and everything. We have given the iteration part is given here, initialization part is given outside the for. So inside the for loop we are only checking for the condition. So this is the another variation what you can do it for loop. So initially I equals 0, not of done, condition will becomes true. ಓಕೆ, ಆವಾಗ ಐನಲ್ಲಿರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಐ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ? 0. ಇಫ್ 0 ಡಬಲ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ 0 10, ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಏನಾಯಿತು? ಫಾಲ್ಸ್. ಅಟ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ it will come, this statement will not be executed and I plus plus will go for value 1. Now again I is equal to 1, not of the done ಏನಾಗೈತೆ? ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಐತೆ. ಸೊ at that time you are going to print the I value. I is 2 now. So 2 double equals 10, the condition is false. Now again increment. So keep on incrementing and printing the values. When I value will becomes 10, print I is 10 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 10 double equals 10, condition is true. At that time you are getting done is equal to true. So done ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಇವಾಗ? ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಟ್ರೂ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ I is incremented, 10 becomes 11. ಸೊ ಡನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಆಯಿತು. ನಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಏನಾಯಿತು? ಅದು ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಇದು ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ ಲೂಪ್. So this other loop variation, you can infinitely, we can create an infinity loop that will never terminate if you leave all the three parts of the for loop as empty. So that is the concept what you have here. So inside the for loop we are not going to give anything here that will resembles infinite loop. So now you come for the advanced for loop version used in Java. This for each version is only implemented in Java but not in C, C++ like this. So from an exam point of view, this is very, very important in the for each version. So for each version is used which is used for enhancing the for statements. So it is referred to as enhanced for loop, and its syntax is given as for type iteration variable collection statement block. So come to the word collection. So collection, where you come across the word collection. So collection is used in the concept called array. So what you define an array? Array is defined as collection of or group of elements of same data type. All the elements inside the collection should belong to same data type only. So for each statement is executable only for, it is executable only for array concepts. So come for this particular thing, the loop repeat until all the elements have been obtained. So how to execute the for each statements? So data type should be compatible with a data type of the for each variable should be compatible with the array data type. So keep in your mind here, you can easily understand. So array ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಫಾರ್ ಈಚ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಾಗೋಯ್ತು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಅರೇ ತಗೊಂತೀವಿ, ಇಂಟ್ ನಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಅರೇ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್? 10 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್. ನೌ ವಿ ಟೇಕ್ a variable sum is equal to 0. So in order to perform a sum of all the variables and store the result in sum, we'll be taking I is equal to 0. How many elements are there? 10 elements. So I is less than 10. So move from one element to another, you will be taking I plus plus. So now we are printing sum is equal to sum plus nums of I. So each statement is each element in nums is read in order from start to finish. Thus entire array is read in strictly sequential order. So for each statement is can be used as can be used for in order to replace this particular for loop. It eliminates the need to establish a loop counter. Rather than that, you can use the following syntax. So rewrite the particular thing. These two variables, these two will be same, but only the for loop will be changed. So that's why we take it as int nums and int sum remains same here. But rather in case of in order to represent I, so you'll be taking int x. X is a variable. So rather than using I is equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, you are going for int x colon nums. This is the, that means x is a variable for each variable which contains for each variable which points to the nums array. So nums array will giving num plus is equal to, rather replacing nums of I with x. So this statement will x will represents to all the collection of array variables. So there will be no indexing, nothing can be used. So nums, if you name nums and you point it to variable x, now x is a for each variable. So if x will contain x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, which is similar to nums of 0, nums of 1, nums of 2, nums of 3. So x will contain all the variables. So same program, this particular can be illustrated here. For each you are taking main, you are taking array variable nums and a sum variable which is initialized to 0 for x colon nums. Now printing the value is what is the value, and finally you are getting the sum is equal to sum plus x. So initially sum is equal to 0, sum is equal to sum plus x. So initially sum is equal to 0, 0 plus 1, value will result in 1. Next it will go for next value. It will keep on reading all the values until you encounter the curly braces. So that is the example. So thus on first iteration x contains 1s, on second iteration x contains 2s, and so on. So here is the program what you can tell. So that will print all sum of all the elements starting from 1 to starting from 1 to 10. Suppose if you want, you have given 10 elements and you are going to stop it for 5 elements. So at that time you can make use of break statement. So break statement inside the for loop. So suppose you take the same program, int sum is equal to 0, int nums is equal to int x colon nums, printf value is x, x plus is equal to x. So when now we break the statement by having a value x double equals 5, break. Stop the loop when 5 is obtained and then sum up the loop. So first you will be starting with 0, 1, 1 in nums. So first value is 1. So after the first value, sum is equal to the initialize to 0. First you will be having value 1, then x is equal to 5 you will be having. So when you have the value 5, so 1 will be printed, 2, 3, 4, 5. When x is equal to 5, it is going to break that particular sum and you are going to print the sum elements. So sum of elements. So rather than executing each and every elements, you can perform an operation on limited number. So by terminating the loop early by executing the break statement. So keep in your mind, terminate the loop early by using break statement. You have to follow this particular program. Next, you come for this particular thing. So there is one important concept of for each statement. So in the for each statement, the iteration variables, what you give preside inside this are only readable. You are not supposed to change the values what you give inside the nums. So keep in your mind, you can't change the contents of an array by assigning a iteration variable a new value. So following is the program what you are having. So you have taken num and we have called x colon nums. So this is for print x plus x is equal to x plus 10. So when x you are getting x plus is equal to means you are going to print the value. But here you are having the x star 10. So no effect will be there because you are assigning a value, new value. That is the value will be 10 and that you cannot store it into the nums because it is only readable and but it is not a writable thing. Rather than you can only give the values and print that particular thing. So in order to print that, you are taking this particular print statement x plus, you are getting the values, you are taken print statement. So under print x plus, you will be printing the entire statement in the one case. So the first print statement, this statement will be executed and that will print all the values here. After that again you are giving the print statement and that will again after executing this statement also there will be no change and that will be printing the same statements here. So that's why we can tell it as array ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು values ಕೊಡ್ತಿರೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ print ಮಾಡಬಹುದು by using for each, but you are not going to store any new value for that particular array variables. So iterating over multidimensional arrays, that comes the next topic. So till now we have gone for using for each. You are given for one-dimensional array. Now you go for the multi-dimensional array. So in order to do the multi-dimensional array, best example is matrix. So to understand this, we have to go for this particular program. So what is this particular program? And you have to keep in your mind, there is a small change in this program. ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋರು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ದು ನಾವು ಓದ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋರು ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಐತೆ. ಆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಜೇಲೋಪ್ ದೇರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಮುಂಚೆ ನೀವು ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಫಾರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್, you are taking a for each 3. That means it is used for a two-dimensional array. So you are taking the main function, int sum is equal to 0. Next you take nums is equal to nums is equal to new int of 3, 5. Andre 3 rows and 5 columns ಇರಬೇಕು. 3 rows and 5 columns. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಈ ಜೆ ಲೋಪ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಹಾಕೋಬೇಕು. ಈ ನಮ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಜೆ ಲೋಪ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ 3 ರೋಸ್ಗೆ 5 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್, 3 rows with 5 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ಒಂದು ರೋನಲ್ಲಿ, ಇದು ರೋ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ 1 2 3 4 5. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ರೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇದು, ಥರ್ಡ್ ರೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇದು. ಸೊ ಫೈನಲಿ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಸಮೇಷನ್. Okay, so keep in your mind, that's why I'm telling you, under one row you should have how many values? 5 values. In order to get one row 5 values, you have to open this for loop and execute this particular statement. Avagashte I 0 iddu 0 0 0 1 0 2 0 3 0 4. Keep in your mind, 0 0 nalli 1, 0 1 nalli 2, 0 2 ನಲ್ಲಿ 3, 03 ನಲ್ಲಿ 4, 04 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 5 ಅನ್ನೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಬಂದು ಕೂರುತ್ತೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಐ ಇನ್ಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಐ ಇನ್ಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆದಾಗ 1 0 1 1 1 2 1 3 1 4 ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಕೂರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಜೆ ಲೂಪ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಒಂದು ಐ ಲೂಪಿಗೆ ಜೆ ಲೂಪ್ 5 ಸಲ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಆ ತರ ಆದ್ರೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಇದು first iteration, this one will be second iteration, and this one will be the third iteration. That's why I'm telling you to open J loop. Open the J loop because it is not opened here. So nums of ij is equal to I ಮಾತ್ರ change ಆಗಲ್ಲ, j ಮಾತ್ರ increment ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ until j is less than 5. So you will be printing the values like this. So finally for each values you have to print that particular value. So x colon ನಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಅವಾಗ ನಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ನೀವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ನಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಐಜೆ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಇವಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಮ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಟ್ ಐ ಕಮ ಎಕ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಡಾಟ್ ಔಟ್. ಸೊ ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನ ಸಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ದ ಸಮೇಷನ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್. ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಲನ್ ನಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವೈ ಕೊಲನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸು ಬೇಕು ವೈಯು ಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಬರೀ ಒಂದೇ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಲನ್ ನಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರದ್ದು ಬರೆಸ್ಬೋದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ followed by the y. That's why we are taking int x colon nums y colon x, and now we are taking the value and you are summing up all the y participants, and finally you are getting the summation statement. Okay, so now you come for the nested loops. So like all other programming languages, Java allows loops to be nested. So loops to be nested ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಒಂದು ಲೂಪ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೂಪ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So call nested, main function will be there. There is a small change in this program. For I, here they have executed this one. I equals 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. J equals I, j less than 10, j plus plus. j equals I, j less than 10, j plus plus. Now you are having system dot out dot println dot. But the thing is, the j plus plus should be j minus minus. ಆವಾಗಷ್ಟೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೋ ನಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ರೋ ನಲ್ಲಿ 9 ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನೇನಂತೀವಿ, ಇದು ಒಂದು ರೋ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಯು ಸಿ, in every row you are getting rows are decrementing and number of rows increment ಆಗ್ತಾ ಐತೆ, ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಐತೆ. ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಜೇಲೋಪ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂತೀವಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಐ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ರೋ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಐ ಲೋಪ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಐ ಕೀಪ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟಿಂಗ್ 0 1 2 3. ಅರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಐತೆ, ಡಿಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಐತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್. ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ j minus minus, not j plus plus. So at that you are printing this particular thing. Okay, so here it is only the program to illustrate what the use of nested loops. So now that completes the control statements. So selection mugitu, control mugitu. Now you come for the last concept. Last concept is jump statements. So jump statements, Java supports 3 jump statements: break, continue and return. So this is very very important. The concepts exam alli tumba sali kelidare. So first, using break. In Java, the break statement has 3 uses. As you have seen, it terminates the statements in switch. It can be used to execute the loop. It can be used in the form of goto. So you more uses 3 cases or 3 uses of break statement. Keep in your mind and write this particular answers. So first use of break to exit a loop. So this is a program what you are supposed to use to execute. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ, ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂತೀವಿ, ಮೇನ್ ತಗೊಂತಿದೀವಿ. Inside that you are taking I equals 0, I less than 100, I plus plus. That means I keeps on incrementing and I terminates only when I value becomes 0. So that's why we're taking it as I less than 100. But ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇವಾಗ 100 ವರ್ಗೂ ಹೋಗೋದು ಬೇಡ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಮ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಕೊಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಸಪೋಸ್ ನಂಗೆ ಇವಾಗ 0 ಇಂದ 10 ವರ್ಗೂ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಾಕು, 100 ವರ್ಗೂ ಬೇಡ ಅನ್ನೋದಾದ್ರೆ, now you go for the condition I double equals 10 break. So terminate the loop if I equals 10. At that time I equals 0. First you start executing I equals 0. So 0 is less than 100, condition true. 0 double equals 100, condition false ಆಯಿತು, ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಅಗೇನ್ ಯು ಕಮ್, increment will be done, value 1, 1 double equals 10, condition false, I 1 ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ತು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, 3 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ 9, 9 double equals 10, condition false, I equals 9 ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವೆನ್ I increment ಆಗಿ 10 ಬಂತು, 10 is less than 100, condition true. Again come into inside the if 10 double equals 10, condition true, break. That means it will come outside the this particular for statement. So entire for loop ಇಂದ ಆಚೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಆದಾಗ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ. ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ statements execute ಆಗಲ್ಲ, but this statement will be executed. So because it is outside the for loop where you have placed this break, ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇತ್ತು ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಆಚೆ ಇರೋ ಲೂಪ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಚೆ ಕಡೆ ಯಾವುದು ಇನ್ ಈ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಐತೆ, ಲೂಪ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ I equals 9, the loop complete statement will be executed. Next, using break to execute the loop. So first statement ಇದು. Next, use of loop to execute the use of break to exit the loop. ಸೊ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ದ ಲೂಪ್, ಲೂಪ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ ನಾವು, ಇಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ನ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ I double equals 10 ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಇಫ್ ಯಾವುದು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಾಯ್ತು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಕಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಲೂಪಿಂಗ್, ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಕಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಲೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. We can immediate termination bypassing the conditional expression and remaining code. So here is an example. So example ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ನೇ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. as I already told you to write the assignment with an example means you have to write the program for that. So here we are considering the break loop 2 as a class name which contains a main function. So as we go for loop, first declaration ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಆ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ನ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಲೂಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಸೊ I equals 0 initialization is done. I less than 100 you have given. If I double equals 10, break. So now we are going for printf statement and I are incrementing. So now I keeps on incrementing. First 0 less than 100 condition true, 0 double equals 10 condition true. So 0 double equals 10 condition false. Print the statement. I keeps incrementing. I becomes 1. 1 less than 100 condition true. 1 double equals 10 condition false. Print the statement. Increment. Next I is equal to 2. 2 less than 100 condition true. 2 double equals 10 condition false. Print the statement. Increment. So suppose when you get I value 10, 10 less than 100 condition true, 10 double equals 10 condition true, come out of the loop by giving the break. So ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ I I value when it becomes 10 it is coming out of the particular loop. At that time we are going to execute this particular. Here the while we are giving the inside the while we are making use of break. Don't think that this break is for if statement. So in the previous example here, if we are given this is an example, if I double equals 10, now we are implementing the same thing. So for the while statement, next you come for when used the break statement inside the loops. So inside the nested loop ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು break statement use ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿ. So break loop 3. So under that you are going for the main function. So first you have taken 2 loops. As you have gone for the concept nested loop, we are making use of I loop and J loop. So for I equals 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. So that is I loop will be executed until I equals 3, and J loop will be executed until J equals 100. But we are limiting inside the J, we are limiting it for J double equals 10. ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಬೇಕು. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫಾರ್ J loop or it will be for I loop ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ 0, I is equal to 0, 0 less than 3. ಸೊ ಪಾಸ್ 0 ಬರ್ತೀರಾ, J loop ಬರುತ್ತೆ, J equals 0 condition true, J 0 less than 100 condition true. This statement 0 double equals 10 condition false. Print J. J ಏನಾಯ್ತು 0. ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ? I ಒಳಗಡೆ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ. ಪಾಸ್ 0 ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 0 ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ I ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ I you will be getting execute the same statement. If this condition is true, execute until when J double equals 10, 9 ಆದಾಗ 9 ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವಾಗ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಕೋಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್. ಸೊ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಈ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ವೆನ್ J double equals 10 ಈ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ J ಲೂಪಿಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೊರತು I ಲೂಪಿಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. So that's why when J equals 10, break will be done and I will be incrementing 1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪಾಸ್ 1 ಬರ್ತೀರಾ, ಮತ್ತೆ J 0 ಇಂದ 10 ವರೆಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 10 ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ J ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಸ್ 2 ಬರ್ತೀರಾ, ಅಗೇನ್ J ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟಿಂಗ್. ಪಾಸ್ 2 ನಲ್ಲಿ 0 ಇಂದ 9 ವರೆಗೂ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆದಾಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಹಿಯರ್. Now the I becomes 3. 3 less than 3 condition false. When condition false, it will come outside this particular I loop. You'll nodi idu J loop, this one is I loop. I loop will come outside and it will print it as loop if complete. And now you are going to close the main function as well as class function. The break statement, as you can see, the break statement in inner loop only causes termination of that loop. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ J loop ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ it will terminate only for the J loop, not for I loop. So you using break as a form of goto. So goto andre ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ಲೈನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆರ್ ಗೋ ಟು ಲೇಬಲ್. ಈ ತರ ಗೋ ಟು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ ಮ್ಯೂಪಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಗೋ ಟು ಜಂಪ್, ಗೋ ಟು ASC ಅಂತಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಗೋ ಟು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯೂಪಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದೇ ತರ ಗೋ ಟು ನಲ್ಲಿ C++ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರೇರ್ ಕೇಸ್. ಇವಾಗ ಗೋ ಟು ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ break statement. So break statement as a form of goto. So it can also be employed for the civilized form of goto statement ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. Java does not have a goto because it provides a way to branch in arbitrary and unstructured manner. So example ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? So goto can be used when you're exiting from deeply nested set of loops. So ತುಂಬಾ nested loops I, J, K. ಆವಾಗ ನಾವು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಐ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಆವಾಗ ಕೆ ಲೋಪು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಜೆ ಲೋಪು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಐ ಲೋಪಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದು ಕೂತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಲ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ದ ಜನರಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲೇಬಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಲೇಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇದ್ರ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ conditions of where you are going to use the label. So when this form of break executes, the control is transformed out of the named block. The labeled block must enclose the break statement, but does not need to be the immediating enclosing block. So the concepts you will be understanding with this particular constant. So use of civilized form of goto. So we take the class as break. So inside that you give main function t is equal to true. First column, first block is first. This is second block second, and third block is third. So before system dot out. ಸೊ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಬ್ಲಾಕು ಇದೊಂದು ಬ್ಲಾಕು ಇದೊಂದು ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ರಿ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇಫ್ ಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್, ಇಫ್ ಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಆಚೆ ಬರೋವರೆಗೂ ಯಾರೊಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದ ಬ್ರೇಕ್, ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್. ಇಫ್ ಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗೋದು, ಥರ್ಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. Next, after second, what is the statement you are having? This is after second block. That will be printed out. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ದಿಸ್ ವೋಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಐತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್. ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಇದು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದು ಥರ್ಡ್, ಇದು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್. ಸೊ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ break up to second and print the remaining statement. After the second, what is the statement you are having? This is after second block, that will be printed. So now you come to know what's the use of break with label, right? So now you take this particular concept. So here also you are making use of break loop main function. You are taking the outer word outer anta tagontivi. So under outer you are giving for loop I equals 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, and printing the value. So ille starting alle outer alli tagondidivi and printing the pass. So first it will come for here outer. So pass 0 arogade ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. for j equals 0, j less than up to here you are given break outer. ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಔಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಔಟರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಔಟರ್ ಲೂಪ್. ಔಟರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಲೂಪ್ ಇಂದ ಆಚೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ದ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಕೌಂಟರ್. ದಿಸ್ system dot out dot print, system dot out dot println, these two statements will not be executed because you are having a break outer and it will end at this flower brackets. So keep in your mind. So at that time what will be printed? Outer anta kottaga 0 nalli first pass 0 colon ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು I value 0 print ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, 1 print ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, 2, 3. when it goes for 10 break outer ಆವಾಗ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಔಟರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಲೋ ಪಾಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್. Understanding the things, it's a bit complicated. Please go through carefully. Understand what I am telling. Pass 0 ಅಂದಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಔಟ್ರ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ವೆನ್ ಜೆ ಡಬಲ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ 10 ಆದಾಗ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಜೆ ಏನಾಯಿತು 0 ಬಂತು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಪಾಸ್ 0ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ 1 ಡಬಲ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ 10 condition false, j will be printed. When j double equals j becomes 10 double equals 10, you will be having a break outer. Break outer will be ending with this particular statement, and finally loop complete will going to execute. So now keep in your mind, you cannot break to any level which is not defined inside, ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಎನ್ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್. ಸೊ ಕೀಪ್ ಇನ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಔಟರ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗೈತೆ, ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗೈತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗೈತೆ. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿರೋ ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಈ ಫಾರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಒಳಗಡೆನೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಇದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೋ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇಯರ್. ಸೊ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಎರರ್, main function 1 you have taken, and that for one for loop is started here and it is ending here. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಜೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ 1 ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ, ಈ ಬ್ರೇಕು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗೋಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 1 ಅನ್ನ ಫಾರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿನ್ ಎಂಡೆಡ್ ಇಯರ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ 1 here. Break with a label can be used only when it is placed inside the loop. ಆ ಲೂಪ್ ಒಳಗಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಆಚೆಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ is not going to work. So that's why you are giving it as wrong, because the break that one is being ended here, but you are giving a break where it is outside that particular for loop. That's why we are getting it as error. So next you come for the, that is up to break. Next you come for the continue. So continue, suppose if the condition is true, if you give break, it will come outside. If condition true false ಆದ್ರೂ ನೀವು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದ್ರೆ, ಡಿಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ of the if or for loop, you can make use of continue to execute the program simultaneously. So suppose, keep in your mind, this is the program. Class continue with a main function I equals 0, I less than 10, I 0 print ಆಯಿತು. 0 mod 2 double equals 0. 0 mod 2 ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಟ್ರೂ ಆಯಿತು, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂನೇ ಆಗೋದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಯಿತಾ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 1 is less than 10, ಐ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ 1 ಅಂತ. 1 mod 2 double equals 0 1 mod 2 is 1, but condition is going to false, but then also you are going for a continue. ಆವಾಗ 1 ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ you go for 2 is less than 10, print 2 mod 2 0 ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Now you go for 3 less than 10, condition true. So 3 mod 2 double equals 0 ಬರುತ್ತಾ, ಬರಲ್ಲ, 1 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ನೀನು ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ಯಾ, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. until I is less than 10 you will be executing each and everything. So control goes first to iteration portion and then to the conditional expression. ಸೊ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಆಗಲಿ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ ನೀವು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡೂ, ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ continued label rather than condition. You are going to continue each and everything. So here you are taking 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, j equals 0, j less than j plus plus, j greater than I. Print continue outer. So j greater than 0 ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಏನು, ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಆಗಿದ್ರೂ ನೀನು ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಔಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ. ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಔಟರ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಆಗಲಿ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರಿಂಟೆಡ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಮೇನ್ ಕೇಸ್. What's the use of continue? If condition is true or false, if you give the continue, the statements inside the loop will be executed. Next you come for the last statement, return statement. So return, the last control statement is return. It is used to return from the main function. So it causes a program control to transfer back to the caller of the method. At any time, the return statement can be used to cause the execution to branch back to the caller of the method. Thus, returns immediately terminates the method in which it is executed. So class return, main function, T. ಸೊ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಇಫ್ ಟಿ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೊರತು ಈ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಈ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಡಾಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಡಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಇಫ್ ಆಫ್ ಟಿ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಟಿ t is a boolean value true if condition is true return means it will return to the boolean statement only and before the return the same statement will be executing. ಸೊ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನೇಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಮೆಥಡ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ನೀವು ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರೋ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಟರ್ಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫೈನಲ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಅ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಸೊ ಕೀಪ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ up to here you will be discussing control selection statements, iteration statements, and jump statements. So jump or control statements. So these are the three concepts what you have in the chapter 5. So chapter 5, this will complete your module 2. So for each and everything you understand, so better write the programs, and to understand the programs you better hear the voice and what I tell. So the inside that will be the concept. Okay, so for up to here will be the module 2, and I will be ending this particular session. So while writing the assignments, everyone please listen. Um, with an example means you have to write the program only. So so any other things, please, I will be uploading the concepts in Google Classroom as well as YouTube. Any doubts, you can please contact me while writing the assignments. Okay, so I will be ending this particular class here. Thank you.